Namaste, Adab and Sat Shri Akal to everyone. I am in the Jeep from Powerful Prowess, back again with another informative video. Today the topic is idioms. I'm sure you must have heard about them. Idioms are phrases which are used in its figurative sense and not in its literal sense. They just add a little spice to your spoken and written language. They act as a ready reckoner in whenever we have a roadblock for idioms or just to start an interesting conversation idiomatically. So to start with, idioms can be divided under a lot of heads like idioms on birds, animals, clothes, colors, body parts, heart and head and many other topics, but this video would cover idioms on birds, animals and clothes, and the other topics would be covered in the other coming videos. Idioms about animals. We keep animals as pets and they help us in doing a million tasks. So their characteristics or traits are woven into idioms. So let's have a look at the wordplay animal style. The first one is bull in a china shop. This is a European idiom and it started way back in the 16th century. Just imagine a bull as an animal is considered to be very graceless and quite huge. So imagine a bull entering a china shop. A china shop means a shop which has a lot of crockery and porcelain, all these fragile items, and if a bull enters, so everything is going to break. Okay, there is going to be havoc entirely in that shop. So a bull in a china shop is a person who is completely clumsy, okay, very careless about things. So a typical sentence related to this could be, whenever Seema enters the kitchen, her mother says that there's a bull in a china shop. The other one is crocodile tears. This one is very commonly used by us when we know that someone is just giving those or shedding those false tears. That person is actually not sincerely sorry or sincerely upset about anything. This started with the Romans when they mentioned about someone crying falsely. Many famous writers like William Shakespeare and even Lord Tennyson have used in their writings whenever they had to explain insincere sorrow. So in a sentence we can use it, oh please stop shedding these crocodile tears, I know the truth. Okay, because you know the other person is aware that you are just shedding false tears, you are actually not sorry about anything. The next one is go to the dogs. It means something which is completely ruined, something which is completely finished. So in the medieval times, whenever there was leftover food, it was given to the dogs. So obviously the thing which was not consumed by the humans or which was considered to be unfit for humans, not good for them, it was given to the dogs. So that particular food was completely ruined. So it got its origin from there. So a sentence could be, our rich neighbor has gone to the dogs because his entire wealth has been spent by his son. Okay, careless son. So, you know, it can be used this way. The next one in the line is hold your horses. Yes, you've heard it right. It means hold your horses is to be patient, to calm down. It is so much needed in our lives day in and out. Yes, this is an American idiom which started way back in the 19th century when the cart driver was asked to slow down, or maybe they wanted him to stop So they had to say, hold your horses. That means we need to calm down and we need to be patient. So maybe a father or a mother is talking to the child and they can say, hold your horses, we are going to buy an ice cream for you. So the child is so excited about eating an ice cream on a hot summer day, and the parents can explain him by saying this idiom. The next one in line is to let the cat out of the bag. It means to disclose a secret. Yes, it's a very typical situation and we come across this a number of times. This is a British idiom. I'm sure you must heard about that rhyme. To market, to buy a fat pig. So the dishonest trader, instead of putting the pig in the bag, he sold out a cat. Okay, and as soon as the customer went back home, the cat jumped out of the bag. So the secret was ultimately revealed that instead of a pig, there was a cat in the bag. So, we can use it in a sentence like, you've just ruined our secret by, letting the cat out of the bag. You should have actually not done that. So whenever somebody spoils a surprise or discloses your secret, so we can use this. Next is raining cats on dogs. It means raining extremely heavily, extremely heavily. Okay, so this is another British idiom, and it started way back in the 17th century when there was heavy rainfall, and even cats and dogs drowned in this and were found dead post the rain. So that's why whenever there is heavy rainfall, we say that it had rained or it is raining cats and dogs. Children could not go to play outside in the park because it was raining heavily or it was raining cats and dogs. Another interesting one is wolf in sheep's clothing. Means you actually look harmless, but you are very cunning from inside. So this could be dangerous, quite a negative idiom. And again, we come across a lot of people like this in our lives. So for them, we can easily use this idiom. This is a Greek one, and it is shared by a storyteller in which he mentioned that there was a wolf who killed a sheep, and then after killing that particular sheep, it wore its skin and became a part of a herd of sheep, and thus killed many more, and causing a lot of destruction and devastation. Yes, so quite a negative idiom this is, and that's why we always say that never trust strangers on road, or maybe never trust strangers. They could be wolf in sheep's clothing. Take the bull by its horns. This is a Spanish idiom, and it means to fight something to fight someone or something very bravely, and just not to get frightened about any kind of situation. So we must have seen bull wrestling or bull fights in Spain. So this has evolved from Spain. We can use this in a sentence by mentioning, don't be afraid of your boss, just take the bull by its horns. We've now covered many idioms with respect to animals. Let's talk about bird idioms. Birds have always fascinated us. Yes, haven't they? Yes, certainly. So, they have a lot of characteristics of flapping, flying, soaring, chirping, singing. So there are a couple of idioms which are related to them, and I would like to share with you all. The first one in line is, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. It means we should always be satisfied and contented with whatever we have. Presently in this pandemic, I guess we all need to be satisfied with whatever we have. So this was just an example. Yes, this is another Greek idiom. where it spoke that whenever these Greeks went out for hunting and they hunted the birds, so they always thought, or they always planned, that it is always better to have to hunt one bird instead of thinking about the birds who are already alive and they're in the bush. So they should be contented and happy with whatever they have. Johnny had 2 cookies, but he wanted more. He was very greedy. The moment he reached the jar, it completely broke. All the cookies fell flat on the ground, and Johnny should have thought of a bird in a hand is worth 2 in the bush. Hey, do you know what is the cheapest thing on a farm? Yes, are you aware of this? I guess you aren't. It is the chicken feed. So my next idiom is chicken feed. It means something which is of a very meager amount, a very small amount. Okay, so a sentence could could be my uncle's salary is a mere chicken feed. Okay, so it is very less. Whenever we have to explain something which is cheap, so we can say that it is a chicken feed. Have you ever read the story of the woman who was carrying a big basket of eggs, and she was daydreaming about as to when are they going to hatch, and then there are going to be chickens out of them, and there are going to be hens, and how many eggs are those hens going to lay? And then suddenly she trips, she falls down, and all the eggs are broken. So all those plans and hopes just fall flat on the ground. So we should not be extremely or blindly hopeful about anything. So this tells us, never count your chickens before they hatch. Early bird catches the worm. Yes, it means that we need to be early risers. Early risers are the ones who get the best out of life. This is an important saying. And I'm sure some farmer must have coined this. Why? Because early risers are the hens and cocks. They are the ones who get up early because they have to run and catch worms to eat. Why they get up early? Because they feel that if they don't, the other hens or cocks might catch the worm and they might eat their food. So this was quite an observant idiom, and I'm sure we all become early risers. Why? To get the best in life. The other one in line is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yes, एक तीर से 2 निशाने. Very true. Okay, so this means to accomplish a couple of things at one particular time. So in lesser time, you tend to gain more things. Yes, so in olden times, the hunters killed birds by throwing stones at them, and they were big rounded stones, and they tried to kill more than 1 bird at a time. So, in a lesser period of time, they were able to accomplish something more. So that's why they say to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Mr. Singh is a smart man. Ria killed 2 birds with 1 stone by finishing off the kitchen chores in a very short span of time. Another one is Wild Goose Chase. The famous writer William Shakespeare has used in one of his plays where he had mentioned that we tend to chase something very difficult in a particular area. So it is just next to impossible. It is extremely difficult. Like looking for a needle in a haystack. Okay, so the sentence with respect to this could be Cynthia kept looking for her gold ring in a huge garden or maybe in a huge meadow, and this was a complete goose chase. Yeah, so which is something which is next to impossible. We all love clothes, don't we? So we can enrich our language using the characteristics of these clothes to add that spice to our language. At the drop of a hat. It means something which is done immediately. Long time back, there were races which were either run by shaking the handkerchief or maybe firing in the air, but very long time back, it was done at the drop of a hat. So the moment the hat was dropped, the runners had to immediately start running, and all of them competed to win the race. So something which is done at the drop of a hat is to be done immediately. All the runners were crouched, ready to run at the drop of a hat. The next one is quite mysterious. Cloak and Dagger. Okay, long time back in the ancient centuries, kings and queens had spies. And you know what these spies wore? They used to wear cloaks. Cloaks were like those long coats, and they had a lot of pockets inside, and they used to keep those spying instruments like a dagger or a magnifying glass, you know, all these things. So whenever we are doing some kind of a mysterious task, so that is cloak and dagger. For example, we can use whatever is happening in Miss Hyde's house is all cloak and dagger. Yes? This one is very interesting. Dress to kill. Yes, we all like dressing up, and this was commonly used. Why? Because in olden days, when people used to bother a lot, or they used to take a lot of pain to get ready, they were dressed so well that the other person was completely killed by their looks. So whenever someone dresses up very well, so we say that they have dressed up, or she has dressed up, or he has dressed up to kill. Another one is an American idiom. A feather to your cap. It means that you have achieved something great. Even in India, we still have these headdresses where they add a feather, means you have actually achieved something good, something great rather. James completed his graduation with flying colors. So this one was another feather to his cap. Let's talk about another idiom. This one is handle with kid glove. We all know that the baby of a goat is called a kid. K-I-D, kid. So whenever we are handling things very carefully, that is handling things with a kid glove. Okay, so the body or the skin of a baby goat or a kid is very soft. So we need to handle that baby with extreme care. Yes, so that's why we say to handle with a kid glove. We all need to handle our children with kid gloves, else we may give them wrong ideas about life. Okay, so whenever we are handling things extremely carefully, so we use this. The last one in today's video is hot under the collar. Now this means extremely angry, extremely upset about something. Okay, so whenever a person is extremely furious, angry about something, so he keeps huffing and puffing, and there is severe blood flow, and because of that the neck and the face all turns red. So round the neck there's the collar, so that's why we say he is hot under the collar. So as a sentence we can use it. Mr. Keith was hot under the collar, so I preferred giving him a cold drink. So I was just trying to pacify that person. So, hot under the collar, extremely angry. I'm sure that these idioms are going to be very informative for you. Do keep watching and keep waiting for the other parts of these idiom videos, and I'm sure they are going to be equally informative. Till then, goodbye, stay safe, and do subscribe my channel.